Hey there, my name is Przemek and here is another Newsflash video. So let's discuss some of the latest news from our dark ambient, dark industrial, underground electronics scene. The first and most important news, at least for me, I hope for you as well, sorry, is that Santa Sangre written blog is back from the dead. When I switched to recording these videos for good, I left the blog as an archive and thought it will remain as such forever and ever. Yet last week, Andrew Dennis wrote me as a message asking if I'd be interested in publishing his reviews on the blog. Well, of course, how could I refuse? I remembered Andrew's work for Brutal Resonance webzine and always considered him as one of the best authors on our small ambient post-industrial reviewing scene. So yes, I'm very happy to welcome Andrew on board and hope our collaboration will be fruitful. His first review is already online. I post the link in the description. It's the review of Black to Come album, Seven Horses for Seven Kings, the album that was released by Thrill Jockey Records in 2019. Okay, and now some regular news. First from Nordvalgr. Let me read his words from his Instagram. 36 years ago, when I was 15 years old, I recorded my first industrial music. I never thought much about these recordings as they were quite primitive and youthful experiments in my ears. As the years went by, I forgot all about them, and I was quite surprised when I found an old tape saying 1987 a few years ago. I thought these recordings were lost forever. The time has now come to share this music, expertly mastered and restored by Lasse Marhog. The complete Crematorius recordings will be released on vinyl by Urashima in 299 copies next month. Okay, intriguing. It's always interesting to know the roots or origins of your favorite musicians, but will it have a real musical value? Will it be something more than just a curiosity or a present for a die-hard fans? Soon we'll find out, sometime next month, I suppose. New CD from 0K label, which is a part of Unexplained Sounds network, just like Reverse Alignment or 8 Tower Records. I talked about both in the previous news flashes. Well, and this one is new old, to be more precise. It's Jeton Hoxa. Sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce it correctly. The title is Vovel. Sorry. And what do they say in the line of the master Thomas Conner? Okay. Vovel was recorded live by Jeton Hoxa at Braka Miladinov Culture Center of Struga, Macedonia in June 2018. Previously published as only digital release on 8 Tower Records, it was remastered and it's now finally available on CD. This recording is now part of the 0K Black Programs facility. I hear Thomas Conner. I know it's going to be something right up my alley. I didn't listen to the whole thing yet, as it's one long 45 minutes form. But after checking the fragments, I think I could say it is something fitting exactly my taste. Release date October 12th, 2023. Let's stay in Arctic moods a little bit longer. An interesting offering comes from Polar Seas Recordings. It's a Canadian label from Toronto, I think, specializing in everything that is deep and cold. It's an album called Svev, a German-Norwegian collaboration between Pjusk and Arovane. Pjusk is a Norwegian icy ambient artist with albums on such labels as 12K, Glacial Movements, Drenarium. If you dig deep in Santa Sangre blog archives, you will find my old interview with Pjusk. And Arovane is ambient IDM artist from Germany with a vast discography and albums for N5MD, Carl Records, 12K again, and a number of others. There are some tracks already available to listen on the label's Bandcamp, and they sound like some nice tunes based on dreamy and serene melodies and some cold and windy field recordings. Of those already shared on the Bandcamp of those tracks, the one called Gaze has already found a special place in my heart. Release date October 13th. To Polish announcements, Rights of Fall new album will be out on October 6th on Leitforschung Records. Polish artist, Polish label. It's fourth album by the project. We reviewed two, Truthsayer and Floodwaters. The project is combining live instruments and electronics, and by that combination it creates cinematic and atmospheric soundscapes on the verge of ambient and industrial, often with twists and turns towards other musical styles. This new one will be called Venoms, and let's see what they say in a release note. Rights of Fall returns with Venoms, the latest offering on Leitforschung. 2 years in the making, Venoms reintroduces Bartek Kuszewski's Rights of Fall project with a fresh musical approach, or what he describes as a clash between different musical personalities. This is music with an electronic backbone, but it also draws heavily on live instrumentation, improvised elements, noise, dub and industrial music to create a sound that's entirely his own. At times reminiscent of Forest Swords or Iomak in his use of distorted percussion, winding repetitive melodic lines and ambient textures. Across these 8 tracks, Rights of Fall additionally showcases a penchant for cinematic grandeur and dramatic flair, calling to mind Ulver or Tangerine Dream at its bleakest. Filthy synthesizers, enveloping atmospheres and punchy rhythms evoke images of desolate landscapes or abandoned industrial complexes overtaken by the overpowering force of the environment. Sounds good. On this one, the musician expands the inspirations, means of expressions and the palette of atmospheres. So it's worth waiting, I guess. The other Polish upcoming premiere is Not 2 album by Fred, a project by Maciek Fred, a 50% shareholder in Job Karma. Don't believe the title. This is album number 2. No, not 2 by the project. Whatever. They say that the album Not 2 revolves around the theme of dualism, which seems to be the raison d'etre of the being of man and the world. Opposites define our way of perceiving the surrounding reality, or is it just an illusion? The artist seems to be asking. Musically, Not 2 is a continuation of the first heavily rhythmic album, but this time Fred gives many compositions an almost song-like structure. However, let's not be fooled by appearances derived from the author's post-punk and industrial lineage, analog retro-futuristic synth melodies and strong rhythms will work well both on a dark dance floor and can be a soundtrack to a non-existent movie. I quite liked the debut, The World as a Hologram, but not as much as my favorite Job Karma albums. And I'm not convinced if Not 2 will make any changes on my personal list of Maciek's works, but the fact that we'll get a fistful of catchy electronics songs, I am pretty sure of it. It will be a collaborative release by Gustav Records and Zen, and release date is 27th of October 2023. New Alone in the Hollow Garden is out. The Romanian ritual ambient project by Dan Sărbanescu this time delivers more ritual Middle East inspired ambient, as always filled with different sounds and instruments almost to the limit, and this time it's also influenced by classic Berlin school moods. Dan says that Golden Temple of the East is a new collection of esoteric pieces inspired by alchemy, Egyptian mythology, and Thelemic iconography. A new type of sound channeling is being born, this time manifesting as a fusion of ritualistic ambient, Arabic and Hindu world music intertwined with vintage electronic structures drawing their roots from the pillars of the Berlin School. An eclectic allegory and celebration of Gnosis intended to honor the autumn equinox, even if was released a few days after this powerful gateway has opened. Oh, and check this, the list of instruments and sounds used. Devotional vocals, saz, amplified strings, electric sitar, bass, self-made tampura, not tempura, tanpura, both lyre, zither, acoustic guitar, drawbar organ, analog and modular synthesizers, cymbals, gongs, bells, shaman drum, floor tom, metal percussion, shakers, sistrum, chimes, balafon, effects. Nice. I don't know half of these instruments. And you can hear all this on Golden Temple of the East, released September 28th, 2023, of course. And what next? Hradby Samoti is an international experimental and audiovisual art festival which takes place each summer in Slovakia. But in November there will be a Hradby Samoti Intermezzo event in Bratislava, Slovakia of course, with a pretty nice lineup. Cut Hands, Burial Hex, Bad Sector, Arm, Agatrias, Doshaska, Noir Antidote, New Risen Throne, Magadan, Living Totem. Today's event 17-18 November, Bratislava, Slovakia. Last but not least, our friend Davide Borghi from Albireon celebrates his 50th birthday. Let me check the hour. Yesterday. That is the 2nd of October. Happy birthday, buddy. I wish you another 50 years or more, and more charming and touching neo-folk tunes from you. Happy birthday. Yay! Okay, thanks for watching and see you soon.